Hi guys, Kristine Windover here, your Superstar Director, and we are on day 18 of Leap to Lead, so welcome. We're going to talk about games today, and we're going to talk about different ways that you can use them, and I'm going to share a few of my favorites with you, and then you guys are going to share some of your favorites with everybody else, so that we'll have a great document saved in this group to keep referring back to of some of the best games that people have tried and know that they work. And I'm going to post the actual details of one of my most favorite games in a separate file. So again, like we talked yesterday, there's games that you can do on social media, but because of our compliance rules, you have to do them as just a call to action, and then everything else is a private discussion. You can't just do a Facebook Live and play a game. It's unfortunate because I know that would be easier, but our compliance rules exist to make it fair and possible for anybody to succeed by doing a Scentsy business. So we just need to always keep that in mind, that we just have to get a little creative, and we can still do awesome things in our business, but we can build a team and be authentically sure when we tell our recruits that anybody can do this business, and they don't have to be able to all offer the same personal specials that might be out there online. However, there is an amazing document which I told you guys about in your workstation tour, the Library of Party Games, and I have a few favorites from them that I want to actually show you a little bit about today. There's also little ones. So sometimes the game, you have to think about what your purpose to your game is. Are you just trying to break the ice and have everybody have a little fun together? Or are you trying to get bookings? Are you trying to get their contact info? Or just to get people laughing and having a good time through the party, to make your parties worth booking a party with you because it's lots of fun. So there are lots of games out there, but icebreaker ones that I love that are super cheap, bag of balloons, everybody gets a balloon, and you tell them that the first person to blow up their balloon and pop it by sitting on it will win the prize. You can do guessing games. Now, this is something that was actually made and handed out at a previous world tour, but you can use a jar, a mason jar, a Ziploc bag if you want, but try to make it pretty. Do a little old testers, guess how many are in. That can be their welcome to the party as you introduce yourself and get them settled in, have them working away on that. Getting contact information, my favorite one is the cell phone game, which is you hand out your business card, so then everybody has a copy of your business card. And just a little tip, I prefer the magnet cards because they don't get thrown away or lost. And your face, and I especially prefer picture business cards because, again, you're selling you as their consultant. And so I've had many customers tell me, your face is on my fridge, and that's how I remembered that I need more Scentsy. You hand everybody the business card at the party, and you tell them to get their cell phones and get ready. And then then when everybody's ready, you explain the game and say, the first person to text my number, their full first name and last name, and their favorite Scentsy scent, will win the prize. Then you watch, and it's all going to pop through in your phone, and somebody's going to win the prize. Then after the game's done, you tell them, you not only have them all in your phone to go in after and edit in your contacts, you now have them in your phone. You can put in what party you met them at, and that what their favorite scent is already there. However, you can tell them at the end of the game, now you have me in your phone, and you can put me in as your favorite Scentsy lady for when you need more product. So that gets a little giggle out of everybody. So that's a really good one that I like to play at parties as well, and it's quick. I should have mentioned at the beginning, and I didn't grab any to have, but the rolls of tickets that you can get at the dollar store are really great for parties that you want to play a lot of games at, because you can get away with only giving out one good prize, but playing lots of games. So they just win tickets as they win the games. Then you can also do some host coaching ahead of time to your host and say things like, there's extra prizes if you bring a friend. There's extra prizes or chances at the prize, actually, if you're on time. So that way you hand out tickets to everybody who brought a friend, and that friend, everybody that's ready to go on time because you've encouraged that behavior, they get a ticket. And then you just draw a ticket or two for the prizes at the end of the party. I used to have everybody fill out the door prize slips, but I prefer those for events now and just encourage them completely filling out their information at the top of their order form. I know that you're going to have guests that come to the party and don't necessarily buy, so then the door prize slip is nice, but I just prefer to play games for my prizes, so I do that. Another just to have fun one, I just didn't bring this close enough, is to have a piece of paper and pen for everybody at the party. And this one you can make really seasonally themed. Like, I love the snowman one through all of my fall winter parties, but you can do a pumpkin. I haven't really come up with a summer one. I got to come up with a summer one. But basically, they use their book as something hard, their catalog, or you may use clipboards, and they put the paper on their head, and they draw what you tell them to draw, and the details will be posted for that as well. But that one is fun because you'll have them draw the snowman, but you'll do the head, then you'll do the bottom, then you'll do one arm, then you'll do the hat. Just jump all over the place, and then they get points. Everybody laughs once they look at their snowman, but they get points based on if things are touching, if the eyeballs are actually in the head, if the buttons are actually in the middle circle, if the arms are actually touching, have them holding a broom or a Scentsy bar, whatever you want to do. So that one's super fun for that too. You can have envelopes that just have prizes in them to play a game to get bookings by saying, I have envelopes here ready to go with prizes in them. For anybody who books a party tonight, you'll get this prize at your party. And you can I just bought some purple cards at Michael's, I think, and then printed off stuff to stick in the middle so that I could change them up. But now that we raised the price of our kit, I have to make new ones anyway because it's no longer $119 to join, and I stickered them all. But those are really old from when I first started and was just starting to get into the things I made. Now for booking games. Oh, another quick one with that is the 3 scent circles around her neck. Have the host wear 3 scent circles, and everybody who books a party gets one of those scent circles. And then, I didn't mention it with the envelopes, but if your total is handed out, the host gets an extra special prize. So it encourages her to try and get her friends to take one. But my other favorite game that has to do with envelopes is called the dice game. And this is the best way to get parties booked at your parties. Yeah, that sounded like it didn't make sense, but it actually did. And I found these big dice at the dollar store, so I now have adapted this game for my events. People are constantly asking what these are for. They think they're for sale. They smell them because sometimes I have them sitting in my sample bucket. But it opens the conversation and helps me remember to discuss booking parties at my events. And I just adapt it. So basically, it's a deal or no deal, though. So when you're playing the game, everybody has a choice whether they play or not, and I am very clear that it is a booking game, so that I didn't like going to parties and feeling tricked into things, and so I don't want to play games that make people feel tricked. That isn't the point. The point is to have fun. So I will say, this is a booking game, so you don't have to play. If you play, you're accepting that your envelope might say book a party, which is still winning because you get X, Y, Z, and you go through what your host rewards are. And how it's still a good thing to host. But you say to them, but there's also small prizes, and these are my small prizes you can choose from in this basket, and there is one grand prize, which is this. And make your grand prize good to make them want to play. I also, to get people to play at parties especially, I specify, if I don't really need to get parties booked soon, I specify that the party can be booked anytime in the next 6 months, because that will get your host willing to play and they can book for the next catalog season. I say that it can be any kind of party, and that's when I quickly go through what my party types are. And I include fundraisers in this because it might make people willing to play that are on, say, a fundraising team or their school's PTC. So they think, oh, I want to win the prize, and if I get that I have to do a party, I'll do it as a fundraiser. They may not, in the end, do it as a fundraiser, but at least it gets them over the fear of playing if they know that that's an option. Then you just go around to each guest one at a time and say, do you want to play? Do you want to play? Do you want to play? Because what happens is they're not to open their envelope until everybody has played. So if they roll the same number as somebody else, they have to keep rolling until there's an envelope available for them. Only one envelope has the grand prize in it, and it's the hardest number to roll. So with that, you go around, you tell them not to open their envelope, and then at the end, after everybody has their envelopes, you say, okay, I have a deal for you to make. If you trade your envelope in without looking and book a party anyway, you will get your grand prize at your party. That's why you've already told them what the grand prize is. And some people will trade it in. They'll ask you, can I still open it? And that's up to you if you want them to still see if they would what they would have got or not. But I really like it when it's a big party, especially because if there's people that open it that get a small prize, then people know, like, I wasn't lying. There are prizes in some of these envelopes. And that's the dice game. So I'm going to upload the information and the numbers of the envelopes and which ones you put which prize in. And my battery on my computer is dying. So that is the end of this video for today. Can't wait to see all the games that you guys share with each other.